Hi there. Okay, yesterday we learned about how to describe the 5 W's when we have a real life drama and we're thinking about writing a newscast or an investigative journalism article about it. So today I'm going to teach you something different. If you're wondering why I'm wearing the same clothes, it is because I am still hiding away in my in law's guest bedroom, hiding from my children on a Saturday while we are doing some family stuff. And I decided to do some schoolwork. So I'm recording all these lessons together. I'm not just wearing the same clothes all weekend. Okay, so today I want to teach you that journalists notice potential news stories all around them. Um, they are alert to moments of drama. They're looking for the out of the ordinary or for heightened emotions or for a storyline that occurs underneath the main sequence of events. They use their observations along with information about the event as a basis for their newscast. And today I'm going to kind of teach you how to take a journalistic stance and voice over what you see around you, spinning from small moments to into potential newscasts and jotting down quick lists of potential stories. So we talked about making observations. We talked about noticing, carrying our notebooks and noticing real life dramas, and then writing the who, what, when, where, and why later when we're starting to develop our newscast. I gave an example yesterday about the kid at Hy-Vee giving food and water to the homeless man. And then I thought of a different one that I'm going to kind of talk about today to help you understand the voice that a journalist takes. Now, remember when we watched the newscast, I made a point to tell you that journalists take an objective tone of voice. They are not saying me or my or I. They're not putting their feelings into it. They're telling it from an objective point of view. They're taking themselves out of it, and they're telling you like an observation that they have and bringing to light a social situation. So, and they really look for these stories in everyday activities. So, the other day I was in the gym and I heard some girls kind of arguing. I know Mr. Borders recently had basketball tryouts, and they were arguing over who was going to be the starting forward for the basketball team. I'm sorry, I don't mean forward, I mean center. So anyway, I overhear these girls arguing about who they thought was going to be the starting center for the basketball team. And at first, they were just kind of talking about it, and then they decided to jump for it. And somebody tossed a ball between them. They were going to see who could get to it first, and then they kind of started shoving a little bit. So this was a real life drama going on, and so I decided to stop and take down notes. I wrote down the time, the date, and the observation that I made, and then I was going to follow up because this is a real life news story. I didn't wait for a huge incident to happen. I did look for heightened emotions. So when these girls started getting upset, it kind of drew my attention to this could be a possible news story. And I'm going to, when I write about it, I'm going to take an objective point of view or a journalist tone of voice. So I jotted down a few things. Remember, I'm trying to tell the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, and why. And I'm also going to use a journalistic third person point of view. So 3 girls were seen fighting in the gym at Franklin Middle School today over who would be chosen for as the center for the basketball team. The 3 girls just recently made the team, and each was a strong player. First, they tried to make a decision by talking about it. Then they jumped for it. Then they shoved for it. Do you see how this is a small moment that I observed? And I'm beginning to write it like a newscast. I tell the who, the what, the when, the where, the why. And I'm trying to be concise. Also, I'm not saying I saw 3 girls in the gym arguing over a basketball, or I'm not saying I think. I'm saying there were 3 girls. I'm reporting it as factual and I'm objective. There were 3 girls seen fighting in the gym at Franklin Middle School today about who would be chosen for the center for the basketball team. Okay, so you have your notebooks and pens in hand. And we have been writing down observations that we've made of small life dramas. And I want you to start writing those with an objective point of view, with a third person objective point of view. That's going to be our goal for today. So I want you to look back on either something you've already written from yesterday, or you can start writing a new one. It should only take you about 10 minutes to kind of get it down, get it going, just really describe the who, what, when, where, and why of your small life drama. It needs to be dramatic but truthful. And then after 10 minutes, I'm going to assign you a writing partner, and you are going to look at each other's writing, and you're kind of learning from them on what they did to make their writing great, to make it dramatic and objective. And if somebody's having a hard time being objective and using words like me or my or I think or in my opinion, you are going to help them switch over to a third person point of view. If you had to say something, you could say in this reporter's eyes, or this reporter witnessed, something like that. If you were there and you witnessed the situation, you would write it like that, not I. Okay, I can't wait to see what you do today and the great writing that you turn in. Go ahead and do this in your composition notebook or your Google Drive, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. And I look forward to reading it. Talk to you soon. One more thing I forgot to tell you. In your Google Drive, I am attaching an example of where a girl named Danielle took her fiction story, her fiction small moment story, and rewrote it as a newscast. So I think if you're still struggling to see what I'm talking about, when I'm talking about telling it from an objective point of view, I'd like you to go look at that example. I think that would be helpful to you. Also, we're going to watch a video at the end of class about point of view that kind of helps you understand the third person point of view. So I think that will also help you get started. Okay, get going.